Good, happy Saturday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, Route 104 in Danbury closed after car accident. Danbury police say Route 104 is back open to traffic after being shut down for several hours after a car hit a pole on Gold Hill Road. Police said around 7:20 p.m. Friday, a small Kia hit the pole, knocking down power lines. The down lines caused the car to catch fire, but there were no injuries. Police said it appears speed may be a factor in the crash. This story will be updated as more information becomes available to us. Mass DOT to close Pike lanes in Boston this weekend. Let's take a listen to this video from WCVB Boston.
We have the power to make this the best generation of mankind in the history of the world.
JFK 100, a new exhibition of the JFK Presidential Library and Museum opens May 26th. Click here to learn more. Starting at 11 o'clock tonight, these zipper bearers will squeeze traffic on the Mass Pike and shift all cars first to one side of the highway on Saturday and then to the other side on Sunday.
There is no denying that this project will disrupt the travel patterns of many of our customers.
Between the old Alston Tolls location to the Beacon Street overpass near the Prue, traffic on the Pike will be cut from 4 lanes each way to 2 lanes each way.
Probably most importantly, you should budget extra time and pay attention as you're traveling through the work zone.
This weekend's lane closures are a test to see how well construction crews and drivers handle them before late next month when MassDOT begins an $81 million project to replace the ComAv Bridge, which crosses the Pike and an adjacent rail line.
We're going to have it done between this summer and next summer.
The chief engineer on the project showed us the precast concrete deck pieces and the 100-ton steel beams for the new bridge that are being delivered to a field nearby. He says using these high-impact short-term lane closures will allow crews to complete the ComAv Bridge replacement in 2 years instead of 5.
It's kind of like the Band-Aid. You rip it off fast. Absolutely. Get it done as quickly as possible and move on.
Now, this project is really going to get underway on July 26th. It'll last 2.5 weeks, and during that time, there's not only going to be lane closures down on the Pike, but there's also going to be an effect on the surface streets up here, as well as the bus routes, the MBTA's Green Line, and other local traffic. Live in the Back Bay, David Beatty, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that report. So just take your time, pack some patience with you as you drive through that construction zone. Whoops, here we go. Falmouth teachers sleep on school roof to reward students. Let's take a listen to this video from WMTW News 8 Morgan Sterneven.
it's Friday night, and the 5th grade teachers are still here at school. Actually, they're sleeping on the roof, and they're doing it because of what their students accomplished.
Because we met a book goal.
7,625 to be exact. That's how many books the 5th graders have read this year.
It was very exciting to meet it.
A couple hundred more than their target.
They pushed us, and I just think it's so cool that they did that.
The teachers have been setting the goal for students for the past 5 years. They keep track of their reading quest all year long, and if they complete it, the teachers spend sunset to sunrise on the roof.
They're brave for doing it.
But after what the students have accomplished, the teachers are excited for their night under the stars, even if it's rained the last 5 years.
Well, it's terrific, and it isn't just the amount that they hit. It's that the more they read, the more they want to read, and they recommend books to each other, and then it stops being a figure and starts to be something that's more important than that, yeah.
It's a reading adventure the main school librarian of the year, Kathy Potter, is excited to help out with.
I think it really inspires them to want to read, and it's about enjoying books.
This is really cool. We're just really proud of our students for reaching
Yeah.
their goal.
Yeah.
We couldn't be more excited to be out here for them.
Go Falmouth 5th grade readers!
Yeah.
In Falmouth, Morgan Sturdivant, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Very cool indeed. DOJ never told Comey of concerns before axing him, and now he's angry, sources say. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
The Watch Me Let It Fly. This I gotta try weekenders. Then we've got the bendy, spendy weekenders. The tranquility awaits. Hanging with our mates weekenders. And it's been quite a day. So glad we got away weekenders.
Whatever kind of weekender you are, there's a Hilton for you.
Book your weekend break direct at Hilton.com and join the weekenders.
Breaking developments involving James Comey, the FBI director set to testify next week before the American people. And tonight, ABC News has learned that, among other things, the fired director Comey is prepared to talk about what he wrote in his memos after his private interactions with the president and whether he felt pressured by the president in the Russia investigation. And tonight, the White House has asked, will the president try to block Comey's testimony, evoking executive privilege? Here's ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, as fired FBI Director James Comey prepares to testify before the American people, the White House will not say whether President Trump might try to stop him. When asked if the president will invoke executive privilege over his meetings with Comey, the press secretary acknowledges tonight no decision has been made, and they're not ruling out the idea of blocking Comey.
I think obviously it's got to be reviewed.
So that's not a no.
No, it's just saying I don't. It literally, and my understanding is the date for that hearing was just set. I've not spoken to counsel yet. I don't know how they're gonna respond.
Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, said today, it's up to the president.
The president will make that decision.
Comey is expected to testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee, where he will be asked about his private meetings with the president, whether Comey was asked for a pledge of loyalty from Mr. Trump, and whether the president asked him to go easy on former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who lasted 24 days on the job. And Congress is expected to ask Comey about what could be the most revealing piece of evidence yet. Those memos Comey privately kept after his meetings with the president. The firing of Comey came after the president once joked with him, "You're becoming more famous than me." Weeks later, allegedly calling Comey a nut job in the Oval Office with the Russians. But tonight, some legal scholars say if the president tries to stop Comey from testifying, it could be a tricky move. That invoking executive privilege at this stage could be a challenge, especially because President Trump has already spoken publicly himself about his private meetings with Comey. Comey better hope there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press and saying this about their private dinner.
We had a very nice dinner, And at that time, he told me, you are not under investigation.
The concern is that by publicly commenting and tweeting about discussions he's had with Comey, the White House itself might have inadvertently waived the privilege.
ABC News has learned tonight that Comey is angry and wants the public to understand his side of the story. And he's prepared to answer questions over memos he drafted detailing some of his conversations with President Trump. In one memo, Comey is said to have recounted how the president suggested that the FBI should drop its investigation of General Mike Flynn. I hope you can see your way clear to letting this go, to letting Flynn go. Comey quoted President Trump as telling him that day. But the major question tonight, will Comey bring his memos to Capitol Hill? Some Democrats want him to read them aloud.
And Pierre Thomas standing by at the FBI. Pierre's learned he'll talk about what's in those memos, but will the public see the memos for themselves?
That's still unclear tonight, David. Sources tell us that the FBI is still negotiating with the Senate Intelligence Committee. We might not know until just before the hearing. David?
Pierre Thomas leading us off tonight, Pierre.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. We will keep you updated on this story. And Powerball has a big estimated jackpot. And the drawing is tonight, so go and get your Powerball tickets today, everyone. And I'll show you that estimated jackpot for Powerball. And here is what the estimated jackpot is in cash value. So everyone, go play Powerball today and get your Powerball tickets for tonight's big drawing. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and see you back here later on today. Bye, everyone.